Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and get started in this case, guys. We want to go ahead and actually work on solving one-step equations here, guys. Once again, the goal here is to solve for unknown variables using inverse operations, all right? A few things in this case, guys, to start off. Whenever we're talking about inverse operations, right? If in the operation in this case, guys, we're working with addition, I know that inverse of addition is subtraction, and vice versa, right? If I'm subtracting, inverse is addition. Same thing when it comes to multiplication. In this case, guys, multiplication and division. Inverse of multiplication is division. Inverse of division is multiplication, right? Because we are going to be working with equations, the goal is going to be to isolate the variable, and the only way for us to do that is to do the inverse of whatever operation is happening between the variable and the coefficient, or the number in front could be a constant as well. So let's go ahead and start off in this case, guys, and we're actually starting off with addition and subtraction. We're solving for the unknown variable in this case, guys. This here, once again, in this case, guys, is an equation, right? We have an equal sign, that is an equation. And the goal in this case is to actually leave y alone. I want to go ahead and isolate the y. Whenever I'm working in this case with the equations, and I know that I'm going to be solving for a variable, I do want to go ahead and create in this case a division, just so we could distinguish both sides of the equation, right? There's a left and there's a right side. Because my variable in this case is on the left side, I want to go ahead and actually get rid of the 2, the -2 to be exact, -2. Only way in this case, guys, for us to get rid of the -2, I could think about it as what's the inverse of a -2. Inverse or opposite of a -2 is actually a +2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add 2 to both sides and add 2 to both sides. All right. I know that -2 plus 2 is actually going to give me a 0. And I should be left in this case with y is equal to 6 plus 2 is going to give me 8. So if it comes to steps, right, step number 1 is that I add 2 to both sides. Step 2 is to simplify, right? Which we did, right? 6 plus 2 gave us 8. 6 plus 2 gave us 8. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one in this case, guys. Next one here. And this one here is b. This one here is b. And in this case, guys, I have the equation of a -7 is equal to t minus an 8. Once again, in this case, guys, goal is to isolate t. First thing, let's go ahead and split our equation, guys. 2 sides. We have a left and we have a right side. And we actually now have our variable on the right side, which means that I have to move this one to the other side, right? Only way for us to do that in this case, guys, is do an inverse operation, or think of the opposite, right? Opposite of subtracting 8 or opposite of a -8 is to add 8 or a positive, right? Same idea. I'm going to go ahead and add 8. But when I add it in this case, guys, I do need to make sure that I add it to both sides. Add it to both sides. Doing so would actually give me -8 plus 8 is 0. So I bring down the t. And then -7 plus 8 is actually going to give me a +1. So my answer in this case, guys, is t equals 1. T equals 1. And what we did in this case, guys, we add 8 to both sides. All right, that is the first one.